What's up, guys? Today I want to give you the 4 principles that helped me make my first $1 million at 25 years old. I just turned 27 and I've already made over $7 million since starting my entrepreneurial journey at 17 years old. So without further ado, I'm not going to give you guys a big long intro. Please like and subscribe. First principle that made me a millionaire by 25 is I had to embody being a millionaire before I was one. And I had enough faith in myself to know that I was going to make it. So I started making decisions from faith instead of making decisions from fear. The moment that I had decided I was going to start living like a millionaire, I started to think like one. And when you start thinking like one, your actions always follow your thoughts. So the number one difference between the people who stay broke and those that break through is identity. When you are still acting broke, you make broke decisions. You play small, you hesitate, and you second guess every single one of your decisions. But when you can embody abundance before you have it, you start to move differently. You make bold decisions. You invest in yourself. And you operate with confidence before you make it because you know that money is a tool and not your master. I remember when I first made this shift, I was watching millionaires on Instagram and on YouTube trying to gain knowledge, and I saw them having all of the things that I wanted. And I remember thinking, man, they're so lucky. Like, I would love to live that lifestyle. And then I started thinking, why not me? If someone is gonna go out there and become a millionaire, if someone's gonna go out there and become a billionaire, why not me? Why can't I have these things that someone else has? And anytime I caught myself saying I can't afford that, I switched it to how can I afford that? What can I do to get myself closer to being able to buy this thing or that thing that I wanted? So if you want to become a millionaire, start being one now. There is no reason why you can't embody the state of a millionaire right now, today. Start speaking differently. Stop speaking negatively. Stop speaking about being broke and start speaking from abundance. If you're someone who wears gym clothes every single day, start dressing up. Start dressing the way that makes you feel confident and that you would think a millionaire would dress. Start thinking differently. Do you think that a millionaire walks into Starbucks and looks at the prices and says, I'm not gonna pay for a $7 coffee? No, they buy it anyways. This is exactly what I did as well. Me, being a multi-millionaire right now, I never check prices when I go to a restaurant. But that didn't start when I first made my first $1 million. That started before, and then time eventually caught up to my state of being. Millionaires are not lucky, they are intentional, and it all starts with your mindset. You have to become it internally first for your external reality to catch up to that and change. A lot of people wait for their external to change before they start feeling like $1 million, before they start feeling rich, before they start feeling abundant. It's the exact opposite. You have to feel all of that and rewire your mindset first for your external to change. The second principle is being a good steward of ideas. And I actually shared my speech from my live event right here, this video up here, from the speech I did on being a good steward of ideas. So check that out after this one. I did an entire 45 minute speech on it at my live event that I hosted this year that I actually shared to my channel. So this principle of being a good steward of ideas is very important. To see if you are going to be a good steward of ideas, God is going to give you a small idea. He's going to place that in your mind. And he's going to do that to see if you act upon that small idea. He's going to give you a bigger and better one. Before God trusts you with something big, he is going to see if he can trust you with something small. Everybody says they want divine inspiration, $1 million ideas, and game-changing visions, right? But God wants to look and see what you do with the little ones first. When that small idea pops into your mind, post this video, start this idea, call this person. That's not random, that is a test. People like Jeff Bezos or Walt Disney didn't just start out with the idea for Amazon right off the bat. The vision of Amazon was given to Jeff Bezos after God saw that he was being a good steward of the smaller ideas. You want God to give you the business plan, but you won't even write down the idea. You want him to open major doors for you, but you won't even knock on the small ones that are right in front of you. Being a good steward means you act, you move. You water the seed right now, not when it's convenient. You may not see how it's going to come to fruition, but you step out in faith and trust that you need to take action on this idea. God doesn't just bless potential, He blesses progress. To get to that next level that you want to get to, you have got to show up faithfully on the level that you're at right now. So are you a good steward of ideas? Because your next breakthrough, your next business, your next blessing, it may already be in the notes app on your phone. It's just waiting on you to act on it. So make sure that you are moving on the tiny seeds so that eventually God can send you the harvest. The third principle is making sure that you are prioritizing reading books. This allows you to learn from people who have already done what you want to do, from people who are already where you want to be, and allows you to learn from their mistakes and in turn shortcuts your path to success. Every single time you pick up a book, you are not just reading. You are borrowing someone else's experience. There's that quote that says, never take advice from someone who is not where you currently want to be. By reading books, you're already learning from people who are in that position you want to be in and who have already done what it is you want to do. A book can take someone's 10 years of trial and error, failures upon failures upon failures, mistakes, lessons learned, and hand that over to you in just a few hours. That is a priceless shortcut. When you are reading and also listening to audiobooks counts just the same. You don't just gain information, you gain perspective. You start to see the patterns, the principles, the mindset shift that got that person to where you want to be. And then you can take that and start applying it to your life right away. Every successful person that you admire has learned from someone else's mistakes. So why would you go through that same pain and those same failures when you can learn from their mistakes and skip the detour? Books are literally mentorship on demand. So if you want to level up faster, start reading or listening to audiobooks. When you study the greats, you start to think like the greats. And when you start to think like them, you eventually become one of them. And then number 4, not giving up when things get hard. I love the quote that says, success is going from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Your success is inevitable so long as you do not give up. If you give up on something at the first sign of struggle, you do not have what it takes. If you are chasing something big, you are going to be tested. That is just how it works. The people who make it are not people who never fail. They are just the people who refuse to stay down when they did experience failure. And I am living, breathing proof of that. And unfortunately, the people who do give up are the ones who did let failure define them and let them knock them down. Most people stop whenever it gets uncomfortable, but those are the moments where the most growth happens. As cliche as it sounds, those truly are what separates the people who make it and the people that don't. Life's gonna throw you delays, disappointments, curveballs, just to simply see how you react and how you handle it. And you might not see it right now, but every hard thing that you push through is what's preparing you for what's next. I think about this in terms of the past 10 years of my entrepreneurial journey, and I see how my failures and my lessons that I've been put through now until I'm 27 have prepared me for this moment. Because if you had given the same tasks and the same workload that I'm dealing with now to my 18 or 19-year-old self, I would have no idea how to handle it, right? I would just crumble underneath all that work and under that pressure. But since all the things that I've learned through these past 10 years have prepared me for the position I am in now. So 27-year-old me has been conditioned and trained and learned lessons and experienced failures, and I know how to handle these certain things now. Whereas 17-year-old me would have already crumbled and crushed under all the different things that 27-year-old me currently has going on. And the same thing is gonna be true for 37-year-old me. If 37-year-old me gave me the workload that I have at 37 right now at 27, I may not be equipped to handle that. I've not gone through the trials and tribulations to build up that thick skin or build up a skill set or a certain piece of knowledge that my 37-year-old self may be dealing with in the future. So if you quit too soon, you are going to miss that transformation. So when things go wrong, it's very easy to think, well, maybe this isn't for me. But sometimes you're just in the process of being built for it. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep believing that it's going to work, even when there's no sign in front of you that it's not. It's kind of like a story that I heard Jack Canfield, the author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. I heard him say in a video one time that faith is like driving from LA to New York at night in the dark. It's going to take you several days to get from LA to New York. You see it in your GPS, you can see that you're on the route for it, and you know that you're eventually going to get there. But because it's night and you have your headlights on in your car, you can only see a few feet in front of you. You know you're going to get there, you know you're on the right track, but you have to keep going and keep driving and keep trying by just being able to see a little bit into the future and not the whole entire route. I think of that story all the time because it's just a reminder that you know you're gonna get there, you're stepping out in faith, you're on your way, but you just have to know that you're on the right road, you're on the right route, even if you can just see a little bit in front of you. So those are the 4 principles, ladies and gentlemen, that help make me a millionaire by 25 years old. So those are the 4 principles that I followed that made me a millionaire by 25 years old. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me know your feedback in the comments, and also let me know any principles that have contributed to your success so far. Even if you're not a millionaire yet, still leave what you think has made you successful, kept you on your path, and please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.